back. We're going to be learning about medians and how we can apply the theorems that we learned about with medians and our point of concurrency, which is called the centroid, how the centroid falls on a median in relation to the triangle. So if we think back to the Prezi video, let's see how the centroid relates to the median of a triangle. Let's see. Alright, so let's think back to those good old times when we were watching the Prezi. So, the centroid theorem states that the centroid of a triangle is located 2/3 the distance of the median. So if you start at a vertex point and extend down to the centroid, bam, you have extended 2/3 of the way down, which means the distance from the vertex to the centroid is 2/3 the length of the entire median. Okay, and then from there you can also know that the distance from the centroid to the side of the triangle is 1/3, because 2/3 plus 1/3 equals one whole median. Holy hot dog, right? All right, so we're going to be using this theorem to help us solve both example 1 and 2 for medians. So get excited. And also, you guys, this picture is going to relate to example 1 and example 2. Okay, and example 1 and example 2 are two separate problems. They don't relate to each other, but we are going to be using the same triangle. That's an awesome triangle, so get excited. All right, let's get going, you guys. So, I'm going to mark that in my picture, which first of all, let's just talk about example 1 real quickly, and then we'll talk about that lovely centroid theorem in a moment. Alright, so it says c to the p is 8. So c to the p is this bad boy right here. This is 8 units. Okay? And remember, the distance from the vertex to the centroid is 2/3 of the way down. So I'm going to label out my picture just so I don't forget. So this is 2/3 of the way down, which means what is the distance from the centroid to the side of my nifty triangle? It is going to be 1/3, because 2/3 plus 1/3 is one whole centroid. Now, something to keep in mind, you guys, 1/3 is half of 2/3. Okay, if you divide 2/3 by 2, you get 1/3. So something to keep in mind when we're solving, to get from the piece from the vertex to the centroid, we divide by 2 to get to this length. So we divide by 2. Okay, so if I know the distance from the vertex to the centroid, okay, if I divide by 2, bam, I'll have this piece of my median. Alright, and the same is true if we go the other way. So if I want to go from the 1/3 to the 2/3, what do you do to 1/3 to get to 2/3? Heavenly hamburger, you do multiply by 2. So, to get from the piece from the centroid to the side of the triangle, to get to this piece right here, you're going to be multiplying by 2. Alright, so that's kind of helpful when you're solving. You don't have to solve it this way, but in my opinion, it's the easiest way to solve. Alright, so I know that c to the p is 8, and eventually I want to find cn, which is the whole segment, which, in order to find the whole segment, I need to know this missing piece right there. Okay, so I know that this piece is 8, so what do I do to this piece to get to this piece? What did I say? Right here. You are so smart, you guys. You do divide by 2. So what is 8 divided by 2? It is, in fact, 4. Okay, so that means p to the n is going to be 4, which I'm just going to record that so we don't forget. So pn equals 4. Alright, so since I knew this one, to get to the smaller piece, you divide by 2. And now I need to find the whole piece. So Cn is broken up into these two segments. So I'm going to write that down real quickly. So C to the N equals C to the P, the length from C to the P, plus the length from P to the N. So if I fill in these values, bam, I'm going to have Cn. So get excited, you guys. Alrighty, so Cn equals, what does Cp equal? What is that length? It is, in fact, 8. You guys are brilliant. Okay, so Cp is 8. So 8 plus Pn, which what is Pn? It is, in fact, 4. Oh, man, you guys are on a roll. Alright, so what does that mean Cn is? Cn is going to be 8 plus 4, which means C to the N equals 12 in this scenario. Oh man, that was exciting, you guys, right? Guys, so we need to remember this rule, which this applies to any median, not just this one, any median. So if you know the distance from the vertex to a centroid, if you divide that by 2, you get this piece. And if you know this piece, if you multiply by 2, you'll get this piece. Now, another thing to keep in mind, this piece from the centroid to the side of the triangle is 1/3 the length of the entire median. So if you know the whole median, if you divide by 3, multiplying by 1/3 is the same as dividing by 3. If you divide by 3, bam, you'll get this piece right here. So that's going to come into play in the second example. So hold your horses. I don't want to get too far ahead. Go ahead and you can start example 2 momentarily. Have fun, you guys.